Hello and welcome to the channel. If you haven't done so already, make sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate that so much. So let's go ahead and talk about gas. Gas. So every time you go to a fueling station, depending on the state that you live in, I live in the state of California where we charge state tax. Certain states don't charge state tax. I believe I think Nevada doesn't charge state tax. Was it Nevada? Nevada, I think, doesn't charge state tax, and I think Texas doesn't have state tax also. I don't know if that's correct or not, but anyway, I'm sure one of you guys will correct me in the comments. But anyway, that's not the point that we're trying to convey here. So, the government has been pushing this narratives of EV, clean energy, blah blah blah. So they want to, shove it down our throats. Meanwhile, when you go to, if you own any of these vehicles where you have to go utilize the gas station and pump, there is a percentage of that money goes straight to the government, and that money is supposed to be used for, building better roads, fixing our roads, etc. And sometimes, they pocket some of those cash. You know how those politicians rolls. So anyway, most politicians, at least here in the state of California, or government officials, have been pushing EVs like crazy. They've been shoving it down our throat. They want to go green right away, which makes no sense at all. You can't just turn a switch on and go full EV. You can't. It takes time. The infrastructure is still not there. It needs to be, dealt with. But anyway, what they're trying to do now is find a way to tax EVs, or people that have EVs, based on the miles that you drive. And the reason is because they did it. People are switching to EVs, and therefore the revenue is actually going down when it comes to fuel stations, because not a lot of people are utilizing. There's still a shit ton of gasoline vehicles out there, but that number has, starting to change because people are getting more efficient vehicles, whether it's hybrid or full EVs, etc. Um, so that's what's going on. So the government is trying to, well, certain states have actually been passing certain legislation or certain things where, or certain, where they can track how many miles you drive, and then they would tax you on that. So let's go ahead and cover the article. And to me, I think it's fucking hilarious because they were pushing this EV thing hard. You know what I mean? So now it's backfiring because it's starting to affect their bottom line. All of a sudden, we gotta find a different way to tax our EV people. We gotta get them. We gotta get that money, baby. They, because if you think about it, EVs, you can charge it at home if you have a level 2 charger in your garage. I mean, for me, I don't use the fast charging a lot, and I have free fast charging for at least 2 years that I can utilize it as much as I want. But you're not supposed to fast charge the battery as often. You're supposed to only use it when you're traveling long distance, etc. But anyway, here's the title of the article: States consider charging drivers by the mile to replace falling fuel tax revenue. It's coming to bite them in the ass. Gas taxes have been a major source of revenue to fund the upkeep building of U.S. roads for decades, and sometimes the politicians, shove them in their, pockets or purses. We know. But the states are facing a shortfall in their finances that's only going to get worse if nothing is done. EV sales in the US have grown from 0.1% in 2011 to 4.6% in 2021. Data from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics shows, which might not seem like a huge change, but S&P Global Mobility expects EVs to make up 40% of sales by 2030. Because you got to figure, because all these politicians or all these people, government officials, want to push the EVs down our throat, even though they haven't fixed the issues that I talked about many, many times over. But they want us to switch to complete EVs by 2035 in the state of California, which to me doesn't seem that feasible. We're only, 12 years? It's going to take a long time before everybody transitions over to fully electric, because the technology is still limited. You can't tow big tons of weight with battery packs in said vehicles. Like whether it's a Rivian or even the new Ford, when you Ford Lightning, when you trying to tow, you lose a lot of range just depending on the weight. So you can't pull with EV. And if you do, how are you going to be recharging those big batteries when you're talking about like semis? Like how long is it going to take to charge before you can take off again? How long is the distance that this is going to run? Will they be able to run it across country with their semis and have certain locations? Is it more efficient? Because if if I have a EV semi and I'm traveling across the country, how long is it going to take me to get from California all the way to New York comparing to a diesel? How long is it going to take with charging or refueling? I bet you a dollar to a donut it's going to be way faster in the semi because you only need to stop to fuel, and fueling takes only like a few minutes comparing to charging may take to 30 minutes to an hour depending on how much range they want to get to your destinations. Charging drivers for every mile they drive. Oregon, Utah, and Virginia all have miles driven charges. Hawaii will soon join them, and the federal government has its own test program in the works. So, you hear that, folks? So, this this is also going to be affecting EVs or people that own EVs in certain ways where they have to pay additional tax to the fucking government. I mean, what's the point if I'm not saving any money on owning an EV? Because the whole point of buying an EV is to save money on not just gasoline, but the environment. I guess that's what they try to sell you guys on is the environment. It's good for the environment. It's all a bunch of bullshit, to be honest. EVs are dirty. How they're make, how they're charged, it's fucking dirty. Okay, there's nothing clean about EVs, all right? But it does save me money. And I guess it makes me feel just a little bit better that I'm not destroying the planet in a very fast scale if I had one of those big diesel trucks or whatever. But anyway, moving on. To participate in the schemes, which only optional at this stage. Why the fuck would you want to participate on there if it's optional? Hell no, I don't want to participate. Don't do it. Drivers fit a small electronic device in their vehicle that can be tracked how many miles they travel. Hopefully, it's not being plugged into your OBD2 because you can fuck that thing up. You can fuck up your car plugging stuff to your OBD2. So don't do it if this is a requirement. Hell no. On the face of it, this kind of system seems equally fair to gas taxes, and the drivers who do the most miles in doing so create the most wear to road infrastructures. While ecologically minded critics might point out the system means someone driving incredibly fuel efficient vehicle is taxed the same as someone driving a gas hungry V8. The V8 driver will still pay more through traditional gas taxes on top. So that's what they're trying to do. So far, it's only been, what, 4 states? I'm sorry. Oregon, Utah, and Virginia, and Hawaii. And then, of course, the federal government is also working on their own thing. Honestly, like, the whole point of EVs is supposed to, it's supposed to be good for the environment, and it's supposed to be, to save you some money because fuel costs were just, it's getting crazy. It's getting higher and higher. Why don't they tax these big fucking gas companies or gasoline companies, people that fuel all this fucking station like BP? Why don't they go tax them directly instead of getting after the consumers, people that use their product? Why don't they go talk to them, make them have more aggressive pricing, make them more make it more cheaper? The less cheap it is, the more people are going to be utilizing gas. Most people that have EVs, best believe me, they have one gas car. For me, we have the Ioniq, and then we have other gas cars as well too. But we're using the Ioniq for pretty much everything. It's what I use to go to work, even though I mostly drive freeways, but it's still enough where I can, go to work, come back, and then plug it in. So that's that it's been saving us a lot of money when it comes to fuel cost. You can see the difference in my wallet, in my account, because every time I go to fuel my car, it's like $50 from It's crazy how much money the EV saves me. Even though, buying a car right now, it's pretty crazy. The taxes are, not just the taxes, but the interest rate are crazy. Dealerships playing these stupid fucking games. But anyway, you guys let me know about this shenanigan where the government is trying to shake you down for some more cash if you're driving an EV. But anyway, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.